Hi everyone, I'm Draya Michelle and I'm going to be showing you today how to make grab-and-go breakfast muffins using Bolthouse Farms carrot juice. We're going to make carrot cake muffins with that, and also Bolthouse Farms keto protein coffee drink. We're going to be making coffee crumb cake muffins with this one. Well, let's just jump right into it, you know? We're here, you're here, I'm here, let's do it. Step one is always gonna be to preheat our oven. So I want you guys to go ahead and preheat your oven to 350 and let's get that going. All right, so I'm gonna start by mixing all of my ingredients. I pre-measured everything, but I'm gonna walk you guys through all of the measurements just so you know. So when you watch it later and you write everything down, you have it. All right. So the first ingredient in our carrot cake muffins is going to be flour. I'm using unbleached, so 1 cup of flour. Any type of flour you like. Second ingredient, brown sugar, my favorite. This is my favorite sugar to bake with. It's extra rich and it's already semi-moist, so it's gonna retain moisture in your food, as opposed to using white sugar. You can totally use white sugar if you like. The recipe that I saw that I kind of switched up a few things had white sugar. I swapped it out for brown because I'm a big brown sugar fan. So 1 cup of brown sugar. All right. Next ingredient. Oh, you cannot bake without these. I've learned it, I've tried it and have failed. So now these two are they're like the dynamic duo. It's baking powder and baking soda. Can't really tell you exactly what each of them do. I just know that pretty much every baking recipe requires them. Now how much you use, that's different, but this particular recipe calls for 1/2 teaspoon baking powder and 1/2 teaspoon baking soda. Not to be confused with a tablespoon, because that is too much. Teaspoon, okay? I put them both in here and mix them up. Cinnamon, everyone's favorite. Mine, this is one of mine. I put it in everything, even things that don't ask for cinnamon. I'm like, just for decoration, you know, a little. So this is 1 teaspoon of cinnamon. All right, oil. You need oil. This is gonna keep your moisture in your muffins as well. You can use any kind of oil. I just use regular vegetable oil. You can use canola oil, sunflower oil, whatever kind of oil you have is totally okay. This is 4 tablespoons. Now the tablespoons, those are the big daddies, so not the teaspoons, those are the little ones. This is the tablespoon, 4 of these. 2 eggs. I don't have a speech for these. It's just 2 eggs. No shells, okay? Oh, 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla. This is another one of my favorites. I pretty much put this in anything that it's gonna be sweet. I'm gonna put vanilla in it. So 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla. That's like a little teeny drop. All right, and what I have measured out here is 6 tablespoons. Those are the big ones of this Bolthouse Farms carrot juice. Now, you can't make carrot cake or carrot cake muffins without carrots or carrot juice. So this is where this comes into play. 6 tablespoons, those are the big ones. So this is a lot. This is gonna give us some color too. And the reason we use carrot juice in here is because this is a major serving of veggies. So it's a good way to sneak in the veggies for your children, or maybe your husband who doesn't wanna eat his veggies. He'll never know he's getting a full serving of veggies. Now, you need actual carrots. According to legend, you need actual carrots in carrot cake. These were, once upon a time, these were little baby carrots. And then I threw these little babies into the blender and now they're carrots and they're blended. So I measured out a cup, a little over a cup because of the spacing. So a little over a cup of baby carrots. I put them in a blender with like maybe a couple of drops of water just to get it to blend up and not be so dry. So yeah, now it's carrot mush. Once upon a time, it was little babies. And last but not least, well, I mean, it is only a little bit, but this is the secret ingredient. This is applesauce. So it's 1/4 cup of applesauce. any kind of applesauce you want. This is another secret ingredient in baking to keep your cakes, muffins, pies, whatever you're making with applesauce moist. This retains a lot of moisture, so secret ingredient, don't tell anyone. It's just between us. Normally, you can mix with a mixer. However, when you're making muffins, you don't mix with a mixer because you want to mix, but you don't want to mix too much, because over mixing is not cool in muffins because it will dry them out. You want a little bit of texture in your muffins, so you want to mix with your whisk, and you don't want to over mix. So just give it a nice swirl until it's a nice, beautiful orange color. And that's it. All right, since you're done mixing, you can set this to the side for a second, and we're going to prepare our muffin tray. I'm using a silicone one. It really doesn't matter because we're using little muffin wrappers. Before I pour my batter in, I like to give them a quick little spray with just any type of cooking spray, just a quick one. And I personally like to pour my batter into a measuring cup because I like to be able to pour it. I pour my muffins about 3/4 of the way filled. Because these were made with oil and carrot juice and a lot of love, they shouldn't be too sticky at all coming out of the wrappers. And look at that. I did it and I didn't make a mess. All right, now we're gonna put these in the oven at 350. Our oven should be pretty much ready to go now. In the oven, we'll give it about 20 minutes, 18 minutes. All right, now I'm gonna start now my second muffin of the day, which is going to be a coffee cake crumb top muffin using the Bolthouse Farms protein keto coffee drink. All right, first ingredient, super easy, flour, any type of flour you want. This is 1.5 cups. This is one of the ones that's a necessity. 1 cup of brown sugar. Why we're not gonna use as much sugar in this recipe? It's because our secret ingredient, hint, hint, is kind of sweet already. So we'll let that pick up the sweet slack for us in the end. All right, so 1 cup of brown sugar. All right, this is the baking dynamic duo. 2 teaspoons baking powder and 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda. 1/3 cup of vegetable oil. This is gonna keep our muffins nice and moist. You can use any kind of oil. I just used regular vegetable oil. Make sure you get it all out. 1 egg. Again, I don't have a fancy spiel about an egg. I mean, I have something to make you think. What came first, the chicken or the egg? I don't know. You let me know. Write that in the comments below. All right, this is 1 teaspoon of cinnamon and a dash of salt. I just mixed them together just to save space up here on my counter. We're gonna do 1/4 cup of almond milk. Super easy, unsweetened, not the fancy stuff. You can't have coffee cakes without coffee or a coffee flavored beverage. So we're gonna be using this Bolthouse Farms coffee flavored protein drink. Now, I've tasted this just on its own. It's amazing. It's gonna give us that extra little zing we need for the morning. That's why this is gonna be a great, great, great breakfast muffin. So 3/4 cup of this, and this is why we didn't need as much sugar in the beginning. This is sweet, like I said, but it only has 1 gram of sugar, so you're still on the safe side. That's why we swapped it out. See, I did you a favor. You can thank me later. Your trainer will thank me later. This is gonna be for our crumb topping, which we will do in a second. So we're gonna go ahead and mix this up first. Again, using a whisk because we don't wanna over mix. You don't over mix when you're making muffins. You just let it flow. And that's it. I'd say about 13 seconds of mixing and get out of there. You can smell the coffee, but it's not overbearing. It's just like the right amount. So we're going to pour our muffins in. Super easy. Just gonna fill your pan here with liners. All right, and I just like to give these a quick little spray with cooking spray. Any type of non-stick spray is fine. Doesn't have to be perfect, just a little bit. All right, the second step of this is a crumb topping, but I'm gonna need to rinse my bowl out, so give me 1 second. Be right back. All right, so the second step of our coffee cake muffins is going to be the butter. We're gonna use 3 tablespoons, just kidding. You're paying attention. It's 3 tablespoons of butter, and you want it to be cold because we're gonna keep it sort of firm. This part is a little tricky. It's like they want it to darn near be frozen, so you're supposed to cut it in cubes, but my butter is a little bit softer than it should be. If you cut yours while it's really cold, it will be perfect. Dump it into our bowl. The crumb topping, I've always wondered when you see muffins and they have like the nice, beautiful, crusty top, I always wondered how they achieved that look, and I learned because I made them. It's 1/4 cup of flour, 1/4 cup of brown sugar, 1/4 cup of finely chopped pecans, and a dash of cinnamon, and the butter. And you just add it all together. There we go, it's being a little cold. Give it a nice mix. The butter will get into clumps, which is good. That's exactly what you want to happen. But yeah, you want a nice rough texture, a dry texture, and that's how you achieve your crumbles. And it bakes on there. When it bakes, you'll see the muffin bakes, but then some of the parts stay like dry and floury, but still very sweet, so it's yummy. All right, it helps to shake it around just to make sure all edges of the butter are coated, and you're just gonna spoon it out and spoon it on top of the muffins. Don't use all your butter crumbles in one. Spread them out evenly, because then you can always go back and redust. All right, this is ready to go in the oven now. In the oven, 18 to 20 minutes. All right, I hope you guys enjoy making your muffins, your grab-and-go breakfast muffins using Bolthouse Farms carrot juice and, of course, Bolthouse Farms coffee protein keto drink. Don't forget to subscribe.